welcome to MG Tracy once again. Now I've had a lot of joy with my Vax carpet shampoo for keeping the carpeted areas clean, but it's been somewhat harder with the hard floor. So I have purchased the Tineco ifloor 5 Breeze, which is a wet and dry vacuum. So hopefully it's going to make keeping this kitchen a bit cleaner. So let's unpack it, get it charged up, and I'll show you just how to get the best out of your cordless floor washer. So this is what you've got in the box, and you've got a fairly chunky instruction booklet, but let me help you with that, make it a bit simpler. Splendid, so here's what's in the box. We'll have a look at the machine in a minute. So this piece here is your storage tray, and it also acts as the base when it's running the cleaning cycle. There's a couple of extra little bits you can fit in there. You've got sort of a cleaning brush, you've got a spare roller, and that's useful because actually you need to make sure these things are dried after use, or they can become a bit smelly. And you get your cleaning solution can fit in there. This is the UK charger, and here's the handle which we're going to fit into the base unit now. So you have it handle forward, and then just drop this in here, and you get a nice click. If you do need to remove it, you push and hold that, and you can take out the handle for storage. Also on the back here, you can see where you fit your charging cable. Here is the fresh water, the cold water tank, and what you do is you fill this up to the max line, which you can see just there. Do that over the tap, then you put one capful of your Tineco cleaning solution, and then this just stops with a click like that, and that's ready to go. On the top here is pretty much the only display you've got. So you've got a light here which does various things. It shows you when it's charging, when it's full, and if it does anything else, it's generally telling you there's a blockage or the dirty water tank is full, which has sensors in it. So the dirty water tank is here. This is the one you'll need to empty, and you need to spend a bit of time on this as well. This is the filter. So this keeps some of the worst bits out of it. This needs to be washed and then dried carefully. And again, if you leave this wet, you're going to find it can get a bit pongy. There are other ones you can buy, and this top will just come off so you can empty the dirty water. When it gets to about here, you'll find you get a warning light or the machine cuts out. There's a sensor, and the minute it gets splashed, it'll turn the machine off. So you need frequent emptying. With the top up, you can see that's the inside of the dirty water tank. And again, after you finish using, give it a rinse and let those pieces dry as well. Having a look at the base of the machine, so it says it's powered, and it sort of is, but actually it's just powered by this roller here, which is spinning, which will gently pull it forward. You've got a rubber scraper here, and you've got a metal scraper here. So these scrape the dirty water out of here and any debris and suck it back up into that tank. This just unhooks easily on the side here. Just pull that away, that's the motor. And then you've got that. And remember, if you need to give that a wash manually, you can. And of course you have got a spare one. Make sure this is run through the cleaning cycle, or you've washed it under the tap, under the faucet. And again, let that dry well before you use it for storage. But these all just click on. And the way it's designed this way is to allow you to, I just need two hands to do that, hang on. Yeah, that was a two-hand job. Right, the way it's designed like this is to give you pretty much up to the edge cleaning on the right-hand side. So the motor drives in here, probably via a belt, probably the motor's in here and there's a belt drive there. But this side, you can get right up to the edge of your hard floor for cleaning. all these bits just need a bit of attention, and then again this one just clips on the top like that. So that's now plugged in, and this is the flashing blue light is the charging light. When that goes solid blue, that means it's fully charged and ready to go. I'll just show you in the manual what some of the other colours mean there, but generally something's full, something's blocked, needs your attention. So these are the other colours to watch out for. This says it needs 4 or 5 hours to charge, so we'll see actually, is that the case? Usually these things come with some charge to start off with, so you just need to top them up. But anyway, we'll leave that for a little while. So your controls on the handle, there are 3. This fella here is on off. This is the start really, so you press that once for normal. I think it's twice, will give you a boost, and you hear the vacuum gets much louder. And the one on the top is when you're in the self-cleaning mode. So when it's docked, empty the dirty water tank, refill the cold water tank, press that one, and it will take 10 minutes and it will clean the brushes for you, the big brush on the front for you. While we're waiting for the unit to charge, then I'm going to get the cold water tank ready. So I've undocked that from the machine. It says you should only use Tineco cleaning solution, so I think that's probably wise. Other ones may be stronger or could damage the machine. I'll put the links below for the machine, spares and the cleaning solution in my description box. Right, so we're going to put one capful carefully in there, blended, and then we're going to just top that up, that tank up with water to the max mark, which is there. Good, right, that's the cleaning solution ready. While we're lovingly waiting for that to charge, a couple of things to remember. Only cold water to go in the tank with the detergent. Hot water will damage it, and it's pretty cold in the UK here at the moment, but if you're in a hotter climate, you may hear a fan come on, and if the battery while charging starts to get a bit hot, the fan is protecting the lithium battery and keeping the temperature down the same way it does with EVs, etc. Okay, so let's get cracking. We're going to clean the kitchen floor. Now, they say you don't have to because it's a wet and dry vacuum, as well as hopefully giving the hard surface a really good sort of polish up and clean, but it doesn't like hairs. So if you've got a lot of hair or you've got a pet, I would vacuum round first. Otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time trying to get the hair off the roller and other bits of this. It will deal with it to a degree, but it'll make your life easier. Just a quick vacuum before you go in with this one. There we go. So I'm going to go with the lower mode. So it's putting water down, it's rolling over and spinning over those tiles, and then sucking or scraping and sucking the water off the roller. Now remember, to go to the edge, you've got to use sort of the right hand side, and that's the one that goes right up close. Now my tip is actually have it on the higher setting. When you pull back and you then go forward, it's almost dry. So come back first and then go forward, and you are almost completely drying the floor. If you do the other way, you're going to have to wait for it to dry a bit. Now when you switch off, it runs on a bit further just to finish sucking up the last of the water before it shuts down. Right, that's made a really good job of that. I found, as I've got a small area, I just use it on the boost setting. And I say make sure that you pull back, and then on the forward stroke you'll find it takes up 90% of the water. Let's have a look what was in that dirty water tank. that was in there. So although I've been using a normal mop on that one, you can see this got far more off that floor. That is very impressive, isn't it? That's empty that out into your filter, a bit of a rinse, and then dry that on the radiator or somewhere in the sun or whatever, so that that's nice and dry, ready for next time. Here we go then. Again, that's going to need a bit of a rinse and dry, and then that's ready for next time. But that's fantastic. That coat with most of the debris on the floor, and certainly has brought the tiles up better. So before we put this away then, I'm just going to show you how to do the self-clean. Most of these bits are going to need to be run under the tap, to be honest. The roller itself isn't too bad, and I think I will probably just unhook that, rinse that under the sink, to be honest. But I'm going to show you how you do it in the automatic mode using the tray. So let's do that now. So this is how you do the Tineco self-clean. It's the same on this model, and in fact it was the same on the Rug Doctor and many of the models. So first of all, make sure the machine is plugged in, empty the dirty water tank if you've got one, refill the cold water tank, and what this will do, this will spray water down there, spin the brush, and then vacuum it back up so that the brush is pretty clean. So turn it on, plug it in, and then hit the clean button. So while it's in its tray, that will spray water, clean the brush, and then suck the water back up into the dirty water tank. Then it's just take it apart, let it dry. It's the vacuum kicking in, and it's safe to store without any worry of anything getting pongy or smelly. If you're wondering how did the floor turn out, well, it's pretty much dry now, and I think you can see from the shine of the lights on there, it's very different to when we started. So that was a super job. I've used the Tineco cleaning solution, and that has worked fine. So that took a few minutes, that did a good job, and it certainly made the roller come up nice. I gave it a final rinse under the tap, and I've used the brush that comes with it to clean that. And then I'm just going to dry those on not a very hot radiator, but just on a radiator or somewhere that they can dry, not in direct sunlight, before you store them. One thing to remember, and I found this with Rug Doctor and a lot of other brands, people tend to leave the unused cleaning solution of water in the water tank. What that does is it makes this go very odd. I guess it's the acid or caustic nature of the cleaning solution, but what it does is this becomes opaque and very chalky, and it definitely damages the plastic. So like everything else, I think, in this unit, give it a quick rinse when you're finished and let it dry as best you can before you store it for next time. So I hope you found that review of Tineco floor washer useful. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You'll find dozens of other vacuum and washer, carpet and hard floor reviews on my channel. Any questions, ping them over and I'll do my best to answer you. Super thanks, I really appreciate it, and thank you to all those that have sent those. This is Paul from London, a very snowy, cold London, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.